Welcome to an all-new Lay It Omni. Allow me to lay it on you. What's up guys, if you're watching this video you probably have already heard the news, but after 4 months Nairo has returned to the internet with a statement about the events that transpired in the Smash community over the summer. Now before I go any further, I just want to preface the video with this. The point of my channel is to inform people about what is taking place in the world and create a safe place to talk about it. The point of this specific video is not to sip tea or stir drama like we usually do. This is to inform you guys of what's happening so that you guys can have all the information you need to make your own educated opinion or stance on the topic. I've already covered many sides of this story in the past and it wouldn't make sense for me to not use my platform to continue pushing new information to you, especially in this case where Nairo wants this information to be publicly shared and known. I ask that you guys do not trivialize this specific topic, okay? We have a lot of fun goofing around on here, but this video is not one of those, and I ask that you guys take it seriously. So if you didn't know, yesterday Nairo released a statement on Twitter titled My Statement. It's a 3-page Word document where he talks about his side of the story where ex-pro Smash player Captain Zach made a claim that the two of them engaged in sexual activities. Immediately after this claim, Nairo left the internet, leaving behind all of his social media, his YouTube channel, and his Twitch. The only thing that he left everyone was this message. I'm not making any excuses, my behavior was wrong, I was wrong, I messed up tremendously. To Zach, I apologize for making you feel like you had to carry a burden all these years. That is not fair to you, I am truly sorry. I'm taking some time for self-reflection and I am committed to getting help. I need to be better, grow, and learn. As a result, I will not be active on social media. I betrayed the people who trusted and depended upon me, the NRG esports staff who helped me professionally, and more importantly, the community who has supported and looked up to me for all these years. I failed you all, I am sorry. However, today's statement addresses his actual departure and much more. Up until this point, we probably have not heard Nairo's side of this story at all. Now, in a normal society, I would say read the statement because it's very important that you do. However, if you kind of quickly glance at the replies of the actual tweet, you'll notice that people are already saying too long, didn't read, or memeing the situation and basically suggesting that they're not going to read it, which is no surprise there. So I will read it in full because I believe the contents of this information needs to be heard. There are trigger warnings here relating to the R word and potential underage relationships, so if you're okay with that, then I'll continue and I will read the statement. As a note, I will be replacing the R word with abuse simply because throwing that word around on YouTube will probably get this video removed from the internet. Hey everyone, I'm sorry for how long this took. I've had an attorney retained since July 2020 and am planning to take legal action. I have a 30-page document detailing the full timeline with evidence, but due to legalities and because I'm saving it for court, I can't post it publicly nor address everything here, such as naming names. However, I wanted to address the most important parts. Zach's allegations are all completely false. When it came out and I saw how everyone threw me aside so quickly, everything I'd been repressing broke me. If my friends weren't willing to hear out my side, why would anyone else? In my panicked emotional state, I just gave up, told a friend to write a vague apology, and posted it. The truth is, I was never in a relationship with Zach, nor was I ever interested in him. Zach is touchy with his friends, leaning on them and lying on their laps, so I never thought deeply about it. It's embarrassing to admit, but I'm very oblivious and dense to these type of things. Plus, I'm straight and everyone knows this, including Zach. That's why I never imagined he would do something to me. Saturday of CEO Dreamland, April 15, 2017, Zach and his friend told me that they booked their hotel incorrectly and now needed a place to stay for the rest of the weekend. His friend had already found someone to stay with, but no one would take Zach and they told me that he'd be stranded otherwise. With that reason, they told me I was his last option and so I reluctantly agreed to let Zach stay in my room. We slept in our own separate beds, but I woke up to Zach molesting me. I freaked out, terrified, but my body froze up and he forcefully performed oral on me. I yelled at him to stop, but he refused and he stopped once I managed to push him off me. I was so shaken up by everything, what he just did, his betrayal of my trust and letting him stay, that I just shut down. On Sunday, Zach attempted to touch me again without warning and I rejected him, listing that this was illegal and that I felt disgusted about yesterday. He kept pressuring me despite my plea, and when I told Zach to leave, he threatened to expose me, say he'd tweet out that we did sexual things. I couldn't believe it and begged him to stop this, but Zach held that over my head. He blackmailed me into a second encounter of oral, which he gave up midway out of annoyance at how unwilling I was. He had me under his thumb after and I had no choice but to not get on his bad side because of his threats. At MomoCon 2017, Zach tried to blackmail me again and I finally snapped as I had enough of being used. Zach felt guilty at my outburst and apologized, saying he would never tell anyone and to privately resolve this. When I found out in May 2019 the rumors were brewing, Zach reassured me that he never told anyone, that he was the one who messed up, and offered to take the bullet should it come to that. However, I knew Zach had to be the source because I never told anyone the full story. All versions of the story out there are from Zach and Zach alone. I was too ashamed to tell anyone and feared that nobody would believe me. I knew something terrible had happened to me at CEO Dreamland, but I didn't know exactly what, and Zach had put the fear in me that it was my fault. I started working out because I thought this happened to me because I was weak. I was in a state of constant severe anxiety and depression that I kept hidden from everyone else. I no longer slept due to the frequent sleep paralysis, and I internalized the guilt and shame for years as it ate away at me to the point that I often considered suicide. I suffered alone and in silence, believing it to be my only choice in a situation where I felt so helpless and powerless about my future. On August 13th, 2019, after Zach's sponsor dropped him, Zach asked me for money. I was resistant to the idea, but he asked again later via text. His insistence, combined with how I just seen proof that Zach had blackmailed Ally and how he had blackmailed me 2 years prior, meant to me that the only option I had was to comply. There were only 3 payments, all at Zach's request: $2,000 on August 13th, $275 on January 13th, 2020, and $350 on February 24th, 2020. I never told him to do his part by staying quiet. Zach has confessed that the quote-unquote hush money story was false and a follow-up to it longer by Tamim. After the allegations came out, I was so crushed at how my silence had been worthless in the end and broke down, eventually opening up to my brother and closest friends about my story. That was when I learned what happened to me did have a word. I was abused. The cold hard truth was that Zach had abused me and blackmailed me with this the entire time because I didn't understand what happened to me. I never imagined I could be a victim of abuse and never even thought what sexual assault looked like to a male victim. I was encouraged to seek therapy, and currently I have 2 therapists that I have been with for months. They, as professionals, taught me about sexual assault and reaffirmed that what had happened to me was abuse. They told me that freezing up and feeling powerless is a common reaction among victims and that the survivors of sexual assault can go months and even years without fully understanding what happened to them. Most importantly, they told me that the abuse was not my fault. It's already hard enough unpacking everything I've repressed and learning the extent of the PTSD I'd suffered since April 2017, but I have struggled immensely the past 3 months with this revelation. The cruelty of how I was abandoned by nearly everyone I knew, that my abuser had manipulated the narrative to destroy my life, that the community I grew up with for over a decade had banned me without a second thought and cast me out as a pedo and a predator when I am none of those things. It all feels so unjust. The Nairo everyone saw and talked with on stream or at tournaments was honestly the real me. I've never abused my position and power to hurt others. I loved nothing more than bringing a smile to people's faces through my streams, no matter what they were going through, and giving back to the community. I honestly felt that making other people happy was my purpose in life. I have lost all of that: my friends, my team, my ability to compete, my Twitch stream, my future. I lost my entire life to these horrible lies and thought of ending it all, but I'm now glad I didn't continue to go down that path. My closest friends who stuck by me and to the few people who reached out to me, you have no idea how grateful I am to you. You're the reason I am still here today. I cannot offer any more details, but should Zach or any other party continue to escalate this, my attorney will be dealing with this legally while I continue therapy. I realize I need to heal and that I must be away from the place I once called home. Thank you for reading. Nairo. On top of this statement, Nairo's lawyer, Trey Flynn, also released a statement as well. In July 2020, our firm was retained to represent Nairobi Quezada, aka Nairo, regarding allegations levied against him on Twitter. Given the nature of these allegations and the platform they were made on, they spread very quickly. Since then, our client's career and reputation has been unjustly taken from him. Mr. Quezada has had no criminal charges filed against him. While extremely unlikely should that arise, we have prepared an aggressive defense that we believe would ultimately exonerate him in a court of law. We appreciate everyone keeping an open mind as the truth plays out. Mr. Quezada has worked very hard to build his career in the Smash Brothers community. He is a man of strong character and values. We're hoping he can quickly get this behind him. So that's the complete statement that was released by Nairo. So a lot of you are probably wondering how I feel. I want to be careful with my words here because this is a very sensitive issue. On top of that, there will be many people attempting to take stances and pick who is right and who is wrong, who should be canceled, who shouldn't be canceled. Guys, these situations ebb and flow like crazy due to the lack of hard evidence and the presence of the he said, she said situation that's going on. To me, from what I've seen, the Smash community is very quick to choose sides and bandwagon the other person. Ultimately, I feel very bad. Regardless of who you believe or not, the existence of this situation is not pleasant nor ideal for anyone. If Zach is lying, then what Nairo has gone through has been one of the worst life-altering experiences one could imagine going through. If Nairo is lying, then the same could be said for Zach. Obviously, someone is being dishonest, and I personally just don't know who or how or when or why. However, there have been further allegations and information presented about Zach that creates the narrative that he is in fact manipulative. This then creates the narrative of one side who sees Zach as a manipulative underage teen who forcefully pushed himself onto many people within the community. This narrative has also been corroborated by several people, including Zach himself, when detailing the events of what he has done. The argument some people are using is that due to his age at the time, which I believe hovered around 16, is that he is a victim regardless of what transpired, and assuming fault on his behalf is victim blaming. The actual definition of the word victim blaming is when the victim of a crime or any wrongful act is held entirely or partially at fault for the harm that befell them. However, I feel if the victim in question is performing crimes or wrongful acts onto others, they need to be held responsible for their actions. I don't personally feel that Zack should be absolved from all actions just due to his age, which I feel is what everyone is doing. And if what Nairo is saying is true, he is a victim in this situation as well. Narratives of Nairo and several other members of the Smash community all point to the fact that Zack has been lying to everyone. However, I also feel that there has been a lot of lies and deception and misinformation and not enough information being spread to everyone throughout the situation from everybody. It's becoming extremely difficult to weed through who's telling the truth and who's lying. Sometimes it's not even a matter of telling the truth and not lying, but in Nairo's case, we simply just did not get the full story, and what seemed to be like a confession on his part before is now being described as just a statement that he made in panic, so everything changes. Now, I'm not going to say who I believe or who I don't believe or choose sides here. I don't feel like I have enough information, and this is one of those situations where I don't want to be wrong. I am glad that Nairo has decided to take legal pursuit. I feel like that is something that a lot of people don't do, and I am glad that Nairo has chosen to speak up as well. I am a very huge advocate of more information and hearing all sides of the story, and up until now we weren't able to hear anything outside of just one side. I will say this, there are no winners or losers here. Everybody loses. The mystery remains, and the stain these events created on the Smash community will never wash away. What the Smash community received in return is the ability to regrow into a new one that is transparent and safe for everyone, but I don't know how or when that will happen. But that movement that took place over the summer was very important. It showed that there were dark things happening in the background of the community that needed to be exposed. Anyway, that's basically what's happening right now. And I'm sure this is not the end of this, and I'm sure more information will continue to present itself until an outcome is finally decided. I urge you guys to listen, take what you hear seriously, and draw your own conclusions. Be mindful that people's lives here are on the line. I will also continue to share that information with you guys and my thoughts on it. For me, this whole ordeal has struck me at its core. It's something that hurts me and gives me actual anxiety whenever a twitlonger or a tweet or a post or a video comes out and it has to do with this information. The energy around the Smash community is one that I personally don't want to be around, but I know a lot of my viewers and people who watch my videos come from that community. And I don't want to ignore you or pretend that I don't see anything, okay? I see everything. But I ask that you guys please don't look up to me as a community leader in this because I'm just an outsider at this point. Instead, use your own brain and do what you believe is right. Stay strong, okay? I know that a lot of you for this situation is extremely difficult to process. In this specific case with the Smash community, things are just going to continue to get worse before it gets any better. Anyway, I'm done. Thanks for listening. Sorry, before I let you guys go, I do have one last request, okay? I do ask if and when you guys talk about these situations in the comments below or even outside of here that you, I don't know, that you do your best to treat the other person you're speaking with like a human being, even if they are a troll and they don't deserve it. Oh, and sorry, okay, one more thing for real this time. If you follow me on Twitter, a lot of you tag me to posts and events and encourage me to, you know, lay it Omni, to basically help me to find news or things to talk about it. I'm asking when it comes to more sensitive issues that you guys be a little bit more graceful about it, okay? You can let me know when things are happening, okay? Don't stop doing that, but please don't trivialize it or make it seem like sensational in some way that it would be entertaining. This isn't entertainment for me, okay, in the least bit, and I've heavily thought about not even making this video because I derive no pleasure from it. So when the story or the situation is very sensitive, I ask that you guys be more tactful when letting me know what's going down. That's all. Okay, sorry, I'm gone. You guys have a great rest of your day. Drink your water and be good to yourselves. Take it easy.